Hello, Jessica here at Sister Sue's Crochet. Just wanted to make a second tutorial here about some crochet hooks. The last time when I made a tutorial, we kind of talked about yarn and the different things on the labels and different sizes and things like that. So today I wanted to make a little crochet tutorial about the different size hooks and different types of hooks and different supplies that you would need to start a crochet project for the first time. So let's start here with these aluminum hooks. Last video that I told you guys about, the very first set of hooks that I had was crochet aluminum hooks, and these are by Boyer, which is a very popular brand. And you'll notice I'm just going to use this hook as an example here. You can see Boyer on there, that's the name brand. And then if you flip it over, there is a K, and then over here you see 6.5 millimeter, and that is the size of the hook. So sometimes you'll see in a pattern it'll say use a K hook, other times it'll say 6.5 millimeter, sometimes it'll have both K and 6.5 millimeter. So that's the way that you would identify which hook you would use. Excuse me. This was actually my first set of hooks that I ever bought. I bought these at Walmart, and they worked out great for my first few projects. And then once I started getting a little more advanced and really liking it and spending time on larger projects, I went ahead and I bought myself a set of the Clover hooks, which I kind of touched upon the last video too. These are by a brand named Clover. I love these hooks. I am obsessed. I use these for every project that I make, and you can see here I did have them set up in like size order from the smallest to the largest, but they kind of have gotten mixed up here now. So this is one of the smaller size hooks here, and as you can see, it's very, very small. This is a, I don't know if you can see that or not. This is a size C, or 2.75 millimeter. And this is what you would use for a crochet thread. I actually have not used crochet thread yet. I've been meaning to try it out because there's a lot of cool things that you can make with it, but I just haven't gotten there yet. So that's what you would use this type of small hook for. And then you can see that there is even larger hooks going up to this, which is the largest. And this is not a Clover hook. This is a Boyer hook, I believe. Oh, no, wait. No, this is Susan Bates. But very similar to a Boyer hook. This is the type of hook that you would use for a super bulky yarn. In the last video, I kind of showed you a few different skeins, and we talked about the super bulky yarn and how if you were out of super bulky, you could use a double strand of the size 4 yarn. And so this is the type of hook that you would use for something like that. It's much bigger than the other hooks. I would say, let me find one that's like a standard size that you use a lot. This is an I hook, which is actually the hook that was on the label from the yarn the last time when we talked, and I said for your first project I would use whatever yarn, whatever hook was on the yarn label. This is an I 5.5. So this is a pretty standard hook. You use this for a lot of projects. This is a J. You also use a J kind of often. But look at the comparison between that hook and that hook. So there's a very big size difference. If you're using a super bulky yarn, you have to use a hook that is bigger so that it's not falling off there when you're trying to go in and out of your stitches. So just a little bit more info on the hooks there if anyone was interested. And then I also wanted to show you some supplies that you would need for your very first project. So besides the crochet hooks and the yarn, for every project that you work on, you're going to need a pair of scissors. This is a small pair that my mother-in-law actually got me as a Christmas gift, and I love these scissors. I can take these on airplanes with me because they're under 4 inches, and it fits really great in my crochet. I have like a little box that I keep all my hooks and my supplies in. Fits really great in there. It's easy to bring along with me if I'm working on a project in a doctor's waiting room or something like that. I just have my scissors there, nice and handy. And then you will also need needles to sew in your ends of a project. When you start a project, you have an end that is from where you very first started, And then you'll also have an end that you'll have to sew in from the end of where you finished off your project. If you're working on a very large project, like a blanket, for instance, you would have multiple ends to sew in because you're probably going to be using multiple skeins of yarn. So each time you add on a new skein of yarn, you're going to have an end that you need to sew in at the very end, so that way it looks more professional. So we'll get more into that later, but for now, I just wanted to show you, this is the type of needle that you would need to sew your ends in. So this is the very first type of needle that I ever bought to sew my ends in. This is a plastic needle. I believe I got these at Walmart also. It came in a package like this. And these were fine for my very first few projects. However, after I'd used them a little bit more, they are plastic and they do wiggle a little bit. So I actually have broken a couple of these if I was using like a super bulky yarn or kind of a tighter project that I was trying to weave my ends in. I have snapped these before. So then I moved on to these metal tapestry hooks, which I do like much better for sewing my ends in. I feel like it you can fit into tighter stitches with this. It doesn't bend because it's metal, and it just seems to work better for me. So this is the package. This is what it looks like, 5 tapestry needles. So besides the crochet hooks, you would need to get yourself a few, tapestry needles. You could just get yourself 1 to start with if you wanted to. I personally buy myself packs of 5 because I tend to lose these very easily. So this is the needle that I am accustomed to using for sewing my ends in. And just kind of wanted to go over a little bit of that today to show you guys what else that you would be needing besides your yarn. So hopefully this was informative for you and taught you a little bit more about some things to look for to start your very first crochet project. Any comments, questions, anything, leave it here on the video. Thanks a lot. Bye.